Team China returns for a test event, Pliesnoi PR Snatch, and this ridiculous muscle snatch from an 81. So 113 at 81. Oof. How close should the bar be during a PB muscle snatch? Close. I mean, that is something else. Let's go one more time. And then... oh my god. Can we zoom his face there? He's totally locked out in his right arm. That's also a PR single arm press, right? It's got to be 56.5 kilo single arm snatch press. That's a rarefied lift. Yeah, that's pretty big. Okay, let's talk about the fact that Team China has returned. Now, we didn't have all of the top lifters, but we did have some. We had several world record holders competing. Let's go through the men's, just a few highlights, and let's go through the women's. On the men's side, we saw Olympic champion, world record holder in the snatch, Li Fabin, that 61 kilo athlete. He went 136, 141, then he went for 145 to equal his PR, which is strange, and he missed it. It wasn't actually particularly close. 166 clean and jerk, 171 in his second attempt. Then he went for 175, which he's tried a few times because it's a kilo over Eko Irawan's world record of 174, but he missed it. It was closer. He did make the clean, jerk just wasn't quite there. And he did that leg thing that he does, you know, this thing. Can we get a nice one of them, Alex, where he's just doing that leg thing? Then the other male athlete that I got to mention is my boy Lu Dailin, who I've loved for a long time. Now, 81 kilo Lu Dailin, and he was 81. He's not going up to 89, or at least he's not yet. He competed at 81. 155 opener, 162 second attempt, 170 snatch on his third. Very easy. Lu Dailin, I think, is going to become the 81 kilo world champion. Oh, wait, did I just say that? He's going to become the 81 kilo snatch world record holder. Yeah. I'm not calling him for world champion. He's going to become the snatch world record holder at 161 at some point. 176 at some point during this quad. Mark my words. With Lu Xiaojun and Li Daiyin separating out, Tian coming down, Shi staying. That 81 is a little power vacuum of Chinese brilliance. He's going to become the new snatch world record holder. That's my prediction. Is also a bit of a Rybakov though. For those who don't know, Rybakov famous for being amazing in the snatch, not so much in the clean and jerk. My boy Dailin opened up at 180, 185, 191. So 170, 191, that is over 90%, but it's like 88% or something of his clean and jerk. He just snatched there. So, and that was a bad snatch day and a good clean and jerk day for him. So he's got some jerk work to do. Over on the women's side, we probably saw some more impressive lifting. But I particularly want to talk about Li Wenwen, Olympic champion, world record holder and everything. She went 135, 143, 149, which would have been a world record. Unofficial, of course, but she missed it. Then 170, 180, 183. Not a world record attempt there, but still a phenomenal lift. No one else in the world currently doing that. So brilliant lifting from Li Wenwen. 5 or 6 there, 143, 183. The issue with this competition was there were a lot of athletes whose names I didn't actually know. And there was no one that was actually saying who they are. Fortunately, Shenzhen Weightlifting, rather than going through and just watching the entire 2-hour sessions, put up a few highlights. So let's just take a look at some of those right now. Okay, so we've got a 160 here. And I think he's an 89. I can't remember his name. Okay, here's Lu Dailin's 170. Yeah, he's got that classic little hip shift. Love that. I don't know the name of this guy. I recognize him. 162. Very narrow grip. Oh my word. I think he's a 73, and I can't remember his name. So we can see that China is still extremely dominant. 140. This is 140. The other was 130. Very nice. And then... yeah, nice 135 in the vault Remedios. Alright, so this 123, I'm blanking her name, but she's insane. I remember her sort of cropping up Asian champs last year. I think she did some big lifts. She's a phenomenal snatcher. She's got to be a 81? 81 to be lifting that. Look at her heels come up off the floor during the first pull. Let's wait for the replay again. I also love how they change color in the backdrop when they make the lift. Look at that. Heels, like, talk about a ROM now. That is way more. 101. Phenomenal technique. 101 again. Just the turnover and fixation of that is just stunning. Okay, let's stick with China because there have been some more amazing lifts from training outside of this competition. Also, for those who want to know, Shi Ziyong, Lu Jiajun, Li Dayin, Tian Tao, actually Deng Wei's retired now. But the top lifters are still in training and will be returning this year, 2022, to compete at a high level. So don't worry about them not being there. I want to mention Feng Ludong, who, again, a lot of you will remember, he's one of the best athletes in weightlifting. He actually ranked in the top 20 Roby points last year across the entire quad of all athletes. But because he wasn't like the best in his category in the 67s, he wasn't able to go because of Chen Lizhen. In training, he just snatched 160. That's 5 kilos over the world record held by another of his teammates, Huang Wenhao, who hit that 155. Before that, it was 154. I think it was Chen Lizhen. And then, Huang Wenhao hit it. But Feng Ludong, 160. In 2019, Feng Ludong took the silver at the World Championships. He made 153 as a 67. He did try a 156 world record at one point, wasn't able to make it. And he's also clean and jerked as much as 180, so phenomenal lifter in his own right. We then have another 81, Jiang Fei Yang, who hit a 170 kilo snatch. Gritty, tough lift, but again, just another 81 doing that in training is crazy. Okay, let's move over now to Taiwan. We have Kuo Hsing-Chun, who rarely posts lifts, so it's always a treat to see her post anything, especially after we just did that breakdown of her technique, Max and I. So she just hit 130 kilos, which is 12 kilos shy of her all-time competition best. As a 58, she did 142 in her home country at an international competition. In the most recent new categories, 2019, she did 140 as a 59. So she's only 10 kilos shy of that, and she makes it look incredibly easy. So I'm looking forward to seeing how she does at the upcoming Asian Championships, which are in Bahrain in 2.5 months. 8th of October, I think it starts. Also, do you guys like my mug? Pretty good mug. A little humble reminder. Over now to South Korea. This is because it's the Junior Asian Championships right now in Uzbekistan. So there are a lot of amazing junior Asian athletes there. One of whom I haven't mentioned in a while, but I used to talk about her all the time. It's Park Hye-jeong. She's the youth world record holder in the snatch, clean and jerk, and total in the supers. And she's now 19 years old, so she's still super young, but she's ridiculous. She just did a 110 snatch, 145 clean and jerk in the training hall, which is impressive in its own right. I then went back through a profile from a few weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and I found this. It's a 175 kilo block clean. 175. I mean, outside of Li Wenwen, whomst is doing that? Like, Emily Campbell's not doing that. No one from the USA is doing that. Maybe we're going to find that, like, when North Korea returns, someone's doing that. But no one's doing that except for Li Wenwen and Park Hye-jeong. So I can't wait. I think at the Asian Champs, she's going to turn up with the reigning world champion, also from South Korea, and we're going to see hopefully a good battle there, but who knows. Okay, a little bit of news out of USA/Canada. Canadian Olympic champion, 64 kilo, Maud Charon, she posted this. She said, Nouveau cycle olympique, nouvelle catégorie de poids, nouveau coach. So new Olympic cycle, new weight category, new coach. Oh, nouveau chapitre, new chapter, Spencer Arnold. So Maud Charon is moving from Canada. I don't know if she's moving for good, but she's now in team Parent Grace, which is going to be great for her, I think, because a lot of good athletes, kind of her weight, her level. You've got Kate Vibert, who is obviously like as elite as they come, basically, in that category. And also, presumably Maud's going to go to 71, unless she cuts down to 59, which she could do. But I would have thought she'd go to 71, which means she's going to be competing in the same team with Kate Nye. Obviously different countries, but that's going to be very interesting to see what happens. Like, what happens when they compete head-to-head at Worlds in the same category? what's Spencer going to do? Are they just going to bring in another coach? Or are they going to be in separate categories and Mode's going to go down? I don't know. But yeah, anyway, congratulations to Mode. Congratulations to Spencer Arnold for another great athlete. That's cool to see. And then Kate Vibert, who I just mentioned, having snatched 108 in training and clean and jerk 136 looking good, she then tore her meniscus on a 141 clean. And you can see it in the video. When she's just standing up that 141, she gets near the top and then suddenly you just see this little bit of slack. There's a little bit of a rebend. Doesn't look right, and she knows. And actually, I think she said in her post that she knew. And then she told Spencer, and she's obviously not going to be at Pan Am's. Will she be at Worlds? Maybe. That's in December. Probably. Next to Kazakhstan, our boy, Artyom Antropov, the front squat machine, the 290 front squatter, 96. Presumably he's going to be a 102 now for the Olympics. Nothing crazy, I guess, but a 210 clean and jerk, which is, it's 90%. It's more than 90%. Have we actually ever seen him even do 230? Maybe we have. We probably have. I don't think we have. 225 maybe at most. So, 210 to make it look easy, it's pretty good. Next we have the fact that Anton Pliesnoi just hit a PR snatch. But before we do that, a quick reminder, if you need to wrap your thumbs and you want to support the growth of Weightlifting House and just more and more content coming out of weightlifting, then make sure you choose the Weightlifting House thumb tape. It's, how long is it? It's 7 meters long, it's extra adhesive, you get 3 rolls in a pack, so you're getting 21 meters. That's not even stretched. 5 centimeters wide, so it does the whole thumb. We got it in pink, we got it in black and gold, which is my favorite. We got it in blue. It's really well priced and it's really good stuff. And it's trusted by a ton of Olympians, world competitors, national level lifters, and then people like me and you. So go grab that. Also, the Weightlifting House Elite straps. We've got a ton of these in stock. These are the Chinese style ones. These are the ones that I use. I just prefer them. We put a little bit of padding in the back as well, which is kind of nice on the back of the wrist. And then they're just extra long. People use these to pull. I actually use them for snatching as well because, the Chinese do it. And I got used to it in like 2017 using these longer ones. But that's my style anyway. And then, of course, the Glenn Penlay method that I wrote a year and a half ago. 2.5. It's been a while. Well, it's 2 years since, it's 3 years since Glenn passed, almost. And then half a year later, I started writing it and it got published a year later. So 2 years since this was published. I'm genuinely incredibly proud of it. If you want to understand the mind of a brilliant coach, then check this out. It's got a free sample program at the end, but it goes through absolutely everything: programming, strength lifts, technique, how to build a cycle, why the cycle's written like that. Anyway, I thought I'd mention a few of these products because it really helps us at Weightlifting House to keep getting out to competitions and to keep producing this sort of content. It doesn't come for free. It's not easy to do this and employ the number of people that we employ. So, consider helping us out and getting some cool stuff if you are interested. Back to Pliesnoi. Now, some of you will remember I did mention, and hopefully this isn't too much of a shock for the rest of you who didn't know, Pliesnoi has retired from weightlifting. That's why he wasn't at the European Champs. He's a CrossFitter now, which means surely that this is the best snatch from any CrossFitter ever. It's over 400 pounds. I mean, there's a handful of CrossFitters clean and jerking this. So snatching it, pretty filthy. So I guess he's training hard still, pushing it. And it looked good. And he looks a little bit more aggressive than normal, which I like. So shout out to my boy Anton for that 182.5. Next, we have from Australia, who will be competing at the Commonwealth Games in a couple of weeks, Aileen Sikamatana, 150 hang clean. I think her entry total is like 30 kilos more than anyone else in her category at the Commonwealth Games. There are a few athletes like that there. David Leaty's one of them. I think Bodie's like 40 kilos up on anyone as well, which is kind of cool. But 150 hang clean is amazing at 81. Then, if we head over to the Uzbekistan IG, it looked like they were doing heavy doubles. And you could see there was a video that was intended to be of Ruslan Nuruddinov, the world record holder, clean and jerk, 241, going for a 210 double, which is, it's a decent double. It's not 90%, but it's 85, 86, 87%, something like that, for a double. And he does miss the final jerk. And in fact, it just doesn't look comfortable. That first jerk doesn't look right. He's got a lot of weight in his front leg that he doesn't normally have. But actually in the back, we then see a more impressive double, and it was from Ergashev, Adkamjon Ergashev, the junior world record holder in the clean and jerk, as a 67. I think he's still 67 now, although he has doubled at 73. He does a 170 kilo double, and he's fired up. That's a big double, because if he's able to be going, over 180 at 67, he's putting on a real show. He might not be. Well, I mean, that's like Lee Farbin levels. We just saw Lee Farbin earlier. What did he hit? What did we say? Wait, Lee Farbin's a 61. Okay, not quite Ergashev. Not quite. You're almost as good as the best 67s. 61s. Okay. It's still a good double though, right? 170 double. It's pretty good. Okay, let's head over to the people's lifts. There are a few lifts here that I want to mention. The first one is from Nicholas Cashman, who I think I've spoken about before because I remember the name Cashman. I thought it was funny because he's like a man that generates loads of cash. 75.5 kilo snatch PR. Looks very nice. Great to hit a PR like that. So 75.5. I guess that was a pound lift. I think it was. What would that be? Like 170 or something pounds? Hence the 0.5. But great lift there, Nicholas. So shout out to you. Next we have Ollie_Hannah, 80 kilo clean and jerk PR. She's actually on the AI, weightlifting.ai. So head over to weightlifting.ai, use the code 2weektrial. No payment details required. And you too can hit an 80 kilo clean and jerk PR like Hannah did. But just really nice technique, really nice lifting. And just good to see another lifter making such fantastic progress on the team. Next we have Lift Like Luda. This is pretty filthy. 201 kilos for it was a PR split jerk, but he does a front squat before. 201 kilos, that's a massive lift. Front squat plus jerk at 201. Not the most beautiful looking split jerk I've ever seen, but also not many people can split jerk 201 kilos, so massive shout out to Lift Like Luda. Next we have Chris, who I've had to post this lift. Well, I didn't post it, but it got posted on the Weightlifting AI Instagram because I don't know what his Instagram is, but he posted it on the performance community because we have a PR thread which is just popping off right now. He hit a 10 kilo snatch PR at 110. He went from 100 pre-AI to 110, which is filthy. 10 kilo PR. He's all fired up and jacked. Pretty sickening lift. So shout out to Chris for that. I mean, I hit a bunch of PRs in between 100 and 110. I went from 100 to 104, 104 to 105. And then I don't actually remember anything. Oh, then it was 107.5 and then it was 110. But yeah, to go from 100 to 110 is just crazy. And then the last lift I want to mention is from Alymore5. ALYMOR5. She's on Freedom Weightlifting, who we talk about all the time because they're just such a sick team out in Florida. 68 kilo hang snatch. There's fight, there's grit, speed, mobility. Just a great lift. Definitely worth a shout out to. So shout out to all of these people. We've got Nicholas Cashman, Ollie Hannah, Lift Like Luda, Chris, and Alymore5. Well done. Brilliant lifts this week. And guys, if you want to join the PR train that is weightlifting.ai and get you get an individual program that's written just for you and it adapts on the daily, on the minute, constantly improving to you. And then you get, all this feedback and technique help from Max A to Joshua Gibson, myself and more. Then head over to weightlifting.ai. It genuinely is the most amazing way to train. It's the best online team in the world. We're absolutely loving it. We've got an absurd number of people joining the team, which is great to see. Every day we get more and more people. So if you want to join the movement and you want to join the most exciting team in weightlifting, that's weightlifting.ai. I'll put a link to that down below. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll catch you all on another episode of the Weightlifting House News Show.